8 fake homeless people that were revealed. Man with hidden legs. A video of a beggar in China went viral on social media sites in 2016. In first sight the man looked disabled by his feet, due to which he needed a wheel tray to move around. A passerby on the street was doubtful of the beggar's behavior, which led him to be caught red-handed. The passerby eventually proceeded to pull at the beggar's trousers to reveal a pair of perfectly healthy legs hidden under his pants. He had tied his feet up to gain more sympathy from people for more money while he faked being homeless. Man on the wheelchair. Gary Thompson was first seen on a wheelchair in 2016 in Louisville, Kentucky. He was faking an intellectual disability to the locals. There were journalists who eventually got suspicious of him and went on to investigate deeper to find out he was a professional at this. He was pretending to be homeless and had become very good at convincing people of his disability and homelessness. He was earning up to $100,000 a year off it. Gary was caught and supposedly vowed to never again, but was caught in the same act many times even later. Hunchback lady. A woman with an extremely distorted back was spotted begging on the streets of Fifth Avenue, New York. The back looked so severely damaged that she had to constantly use crutches to move around. The area she was spotted at had most of the elite luxury stores like Gucci, Prada and etc., which led to many wealthy folks always being in the area. Many of these wealthy people would often part with their spare cash in hand out of pity when they saw this woman. One known US media outlet followed her one day due to a strong suspicion, on account of which they found her to be completely healthy and able to walk without any support. She had van parked in which she would get changed into normal clothes at the end of the day and leave. She was even confronted the next day, but she refused all allegations and limped away. Gatorade girl. Mika Dominguez used to regularly beg on the streets of Virginia and tell everyone she was homeless. Her financial state seemed to be very pathetic. Everyone used to pay her cash and coins on meeting her out of sympathy. Although one day she was discovered to be rich and very much financially comfortable when 2 men followed her and confronted her because they doubted her story. The so-called poor woman was also getting government assistance when she very well did not require it. She even had enough finance to drive a luxurious car. The next day she was arrested for throwing Gatorade bottles at cars. Pregnant beggar. Many times it is easier to gain sympathy and money from people if you are a pregnant woman who is also homeless. A case like such was found when they spotted this pregnant beggar getting into a rich Mercedes-Benz. She was originally seen outside a mall in San Diego, holding a sign that said "Please help me," asking for financial help. A few weeks later, when the local police tracked her down, she was with a man and a baby. They got on a car and went in the city to an apartment that cost more than $2,500 per month as rent. The professional panhandler. Simon Wright, a 37-year-old man, had started professionally begging to get by in life. The man was making over $65,000 a year as a professional panhandler while owning and living in a flat worth almost $400,000. In such cases in UK you can be given an antisocial behaviour order which prohibits you from continuing the pretense. Simon was booked under it and given multiple warnings. But eventually, in a few months, he was caught begging again and was arrested. He admitted that he was in heavy debt and that he was in danger of losing his house. Limping man. In 2016, another famous clip that went viral was that of a homeless beggar, begging on the streets of London. The man was limping through streets and looked like he could not walk without crutches. Many people around stopped by to hand him some cash as he looked like he was in a very bad state. But soon after, he was spotted losing the limp and the crutches. Eventually he proceeded to hand over the crutches to another man and walk away casually with no trace of a limp. He then proceeded to buy himself a scrumptious meal of burger and soda from the money he had received. On getting caught he refused to identify and walked away. Fake former veteran. All over the world there are multiple cases of veterans not being well taken care of under the government systems, which tends to make people sympathetic towards a veteran they see begging for help on the streets. This fact was misused by one man in Devon, England named Steve. He made a sign saying he was lonely and homeless and had served in the forces for 18 years. He had even mentioned the Royal Marine Service number and told people he was a part of 42 Marine Commando. But on further inspection and verification by a man, he turned out to be faking it, leaving all his patron astonished and very disappointed.